All right, all right, all right. Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, time for Tuesday Talks. Give me a big thumbs up or a one in the chat if you can hear me. I know that we like to start off every single Tuesday with confirmation that you can hear me after my first failed attempt when we were just getting started doing the StreamYard setup, where we actually had people that were watching, but they couldn't hear me. So let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up, give me a one, give me a heart, give me something that I can see. And I know I've got Robert Harden waiting on the side stage to jump in here. So let's see. Robert saying he can hear me. Good. Thank you, Robert. I've got Andy with the Renovate guys. Andy, what you working on today, bro? Probably in Portland or Vancouver somewhere doing a bathroom remodel, if I had to guess. Or you're waiting at the DMV still. You posted yesterday you're at the DMV, so you might still be there given the way that works. But yeah, absolutely pumped to bring this broadcast to you guys today. I have a special edition planned for you. Yep, Andy says another bathroom. That's right. So Andy, appreciate you out there changing people's bathrooms, making their dreams come true with bathroom renovations, and obviously work on the real estate aspect on the side. So I don't want to delay too much today because of the fact that I've got very special guests, my friend and also fellow Owners Club member, Robert Harden. He is a local guy in the Portland market. We're going to have him jump on here. So I'm going to give you guys about another minute. So while we're waiting, if you're just joining us, if you can hear us okay, give us a one in the chat. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from. Love seeing what you guys are up to when you do this. So Tuesday Talks, just in case you needed to know, okay, in case you're just joining us today for the first time, we do this every single Tuesday. We do it live. What we do is we like to take a little bit of time in the middle of our Tuesday afternoon, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do a live stream. We're streaming on Facebook, we're streaming on YouTube, and we're also streaming on the Instagram channels too, I believe. But we like to do this just because sometimes, you start off the week, Monday is kind of always, Monday, right? But Tuesday is a little bit of a chance to say, okay, where am I at? How's it looking? It looks like that we've got people tuning in from all over the place. I want to show Robert Harden here. He's at his office, Indigo Construction headquarters in Hubbard, Oregon. All right, Mr. Robert Harden. By the way, if you guys didn't know that, Robert Harden does have a drywall. They do drywall, tape, texture, all kinds of cool things. So one of the things I love about just the whole Portland real estate community is we're starting to actually form a community, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about that when Robert comes on, but I'm going to go ahead and bring Robert Harden onto the screen here today because time is valuable. Robert, what's going on, bro? Good to see you.
Yo, dude, really good, man. Thank you for having me on. I love your Tuesday talks, so these are really cool.
Look here. Trying to do some lunch at the same time as, you're trying to put some food down the hatch too?
I did. You know what? I choked down a salad, like half of it, and then I was like, oh my God, I got to be on with John. So it's in the fridge, and I'll finish it,
Okay. All right. Well, let me know if you need to get anything out of your teeth. So you're good. From where I'm sitting, it looks great. So obviously, if you guys don't know, I'm here located primarily out of the Boise, Idaho market nowadays. The bulk of my business, the real estate business, is in the Portland market. And one of the first guys that I really felt like, at least in the Portland market, one of the first guys that I really felt like got it in the sense of what it is that I was trying to create. And it wasn't a new concept by any means. It wasn't a novel idea. It was something that I'd seen put into practice in the Phoenix market. And that was, of course, the camaraderie, the idea of collaboration beats competition. And I saw that exemplified in the Phoenix, Arizona market, of course, as Pace Morby, Brent Daniels, Jamil Damji. Of course, at the time, whenever I first started kind of tuning in and hanging out with those guys and following what they were doing, at that time, Jerry Norton still lived in the Phoenix market. Then, of course, Pace Morby bought Jerry Norton's house, subject to, they did a creative financing thing. So I was watching all of this happen, and I was watching it from a distance, and I was thinking, man, it would be nice if we had something like that in Portland. And, and then I was at a mastermind in 2021, and Pace Morby challenged me personally, says, John, why don't you start a meetup? And I was like, I don't have time for meetups. I don't have time for networking. I have too much real work to do. And you guys obviously know the rest of the story. We started the PDX meetup anyway because my mentor said to do it. I paid him money to mentor me, and he said to start a meetup. So I was like, well, he must know what he's talking about, and I did it. And one of the first people, like I said, from my PDX REI group meetup that I really felt like got it, understood the concept, was willing to jump in, contribute. By the way, if you guys don't know, Robert Harden is definitely someone that can connect you to all kinds of different people. So Andy, if you're watching this, make sure you get on Robert's list, and he'll be able to refer you guys out for other bathroom renovations and stuff if you don't have enough work already, which I'm guessing is not the case, but you never know. But anyway, with all that being said, Robert Harden was one of the guys that I really enjoyed doing. I think we worked on your first deal together. Is that right, Robert?
Yeah, we did. Very first one over in Beaverton. Still have the property. It is a short-term rental, so it's still cruising along. This winter was a rough one though. Didn't really make any money this winter. Like as did a lot of people with short terms. Had just as an off kind of season. We didn't have any like major weather events, so that insurance leads and stuff were kind of slower. So it's just a slower winter, but it's picked up though. We had a really good month last month.
Oh, good.
Yeah, had like I think we did a little over 3K net on it. So yeah, it was a really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like
make up for some of that lost traction. Now, did you lose money during the winter, or you just broke even?
No, didn't lose any money. It's just when you see it come in, because we have like a portfolio of properties, so we kind of count on not all of them always performing the greatest, but as as long as enough money is coming in to take care of all the debt obligations and can take care of repairs and all that kind of nonsense that you deal with, then we consider that a win. So no, it was really good. It was decent. And that was such a slam dunk deal though. Like it was such a fun one to do with you. Like I enjoyed that.
That was fun. I always like doing the stuff that's a little bit challenging. So Robert reached out to me, said he had a lead on a deal, and you had already pretty much done most of the negotiating with the seller. And you just needed somebody to kind of, I think you were maybe asking me if I wanted to buy it. And I was interested, but then I was also like, I think I remember saying something to the effect, or maybe you thought of, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, bro, why don't you just keep this yourself? I mean, you've already negotiated a great deal. Just hold on to this. And you were like, I don't know, I don't want to deal with the tenants. And I was like, well, I can get the tenants out of there for you. So we did our thing.
Yeah, dude, that was perfect. That's such a great home run, like an amazing property. I really like that property. So
yeah, I love that property. You know what I love is I love driving by that property. It's over in the Aloha, Beaverton area. It's right on that S curve. And I love looking at it because you did such a great job with the renovation. Even the colors of the house, they pop. It clearly represents someone who cared, someone who went in and took a dumpy property with some problem tenants. How long have those tenants been living in there rent free?
Oh my God, probably 15 years, like 15 plus years. Just, I know it kind of just boggles your mind, right?
Yeah, what boggles my mind even more than the fact that they lived there for 15 years was the fact that they pushed back when it came time to actually move out. It was like, dude, come on. Like you guys have been getting free rent in one of the, hardest markets to get decent, affordable housing in for 15 years. Like, come on. So anyway, we got them out. You took that property, turned it into how many properties do you have now in the Portland, Vancouver, Salem area now, Robert?
Yeah, so 29 right now. And but that includes one in Louisiana. So I have one that's kind of far away. Have several we're working on right now. One of them, a couple of my deals have gone south. So I have two deals that they just blew up. They didn't, they're not working. But we have a couple other that we're about ready to go under contract on. So excited about those ones.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let's talk about, because I know your time is limited. Let's talk about what we have going on. And by the way, I just wanted everybody to know Robert Harden is somebody you need to get to know if you're in the Portland market at all. Portland, Salem, Vancouver. Robert is a buyer. He's also very familiar with creative deal structuring. He's connected to, like I said, him and I are both part of Owners Club, which is as Pace Morby, Jamil Damji's kind of joint venture, where they have kind of a higher level group that are just really focusing on business ownership. And one of the things that Robert and I had talked about doing a couple months ago was the idea of when the weather got good, and hopefully it gets good and stays good, at least for this weekend, right? Because that would be a bummer if it isn't. But
so check and see have you looked lately? Yeah. I'm curious now.
Yeah, take a look. The reason I'm looking at the weather, I don't normally think about it at all, but our son is getting married next weekend. And so So we're definitely keeping an eye on that. It's an outdoor wedding. So Robert, we're good to go on weather this Saturday?
Yeah, we're good to go. I just checked. We're showing sunny, so sunny or cloudy. So as long as it holds, then we're going to be
Yeah.
in really good shape.
Yeah, awesome. So what we have in mind, you guys, and if you're watching this, I hope that you'll share this broadcast today. After it's done, it'll be live. I want you to please share this. We'll do our part too to get it out there.
Mhm.
But what we want to do is we want to give everybody in the Portland market that is even slightly interested in real estate investing at all, whether you just kind of like, oh, that'd be kind of cool, or you want to see like, what's it like in real life? You know, I watch it on HGTV, but what is it actually like in real life? We want to give you guys a chance to come out and experience not just one, not just two, but 3 live action flips in the Portland market, all on one day. That's this coming Saturday, May 24th. And so Robert and I are really putting this together. We're calling it the Flipping Field Trip. Okay, Portland edition. I was trying to figure out some other snazzy way to label it, like make it sound professional, but we just landed on it's just the Flipping Field Trip. Okay.
I like it. It's perfect. You capture everything that it is all in one.
Yeah,
So
it is what it is, right? There's no, it's not like you're going to look at that and go, huh, I wonder what that's all about. So, Robert, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what, what you envision happening? What do you think people are going to get when they come out to this on Saturday, this coming Saturday, just a couple of days from now?
This is what's amazing is that you can have people that have never been involved in a flip at all, just just understanding the concept of it, can come out and actually talk to a flipper, 3 actual flippers, and find out, hey, how'd you find the deal? Like, how'd you even get this opportunity? How did you underwrite the opportunity? Like, how do you even know if it is a good opportunity or is not a good opportunity? And then, like, what kind of contractors? How does it all work? How does the money work? Like, where do you source the funds? How do you do these projects with very little money out of your pocket? Using hard money, using private money. Like, how do you even put them together? And more importantly, like, what's it look like when it's done at various stages? So we have 3 different flips where people can actually see that and talk to the flippers. There's so much value there if you're wanting to get in the space, from people that have no experience to people have a lot of experience. That's the cool thing about people that have a lot of experience. They can actually talk to the flippers and maybe even exchange contractors, like, hey, I'll trade you a plumber for your electrician. Like that goes on quite a bit with flippers. We're always swapping. We kind of hold some of our contractors close to our chest, but I don't mind sharing. So I can even share some of the ones that I work with. So yeah, it's going to be really good.
That's awesome. So you're going to have obviously some resources there. One of the things that we're letting our flippers know as well, of course, we've gone through and we've kind of just asked in the last couple of months who would be available to be a part of this. And so we've actually had I've been, I don't know if this is something you've noticed or not, Robert, but I've actually been a little bit surprised at how many people are actually out there flipping in the Portland market. I've really been impressed with how many people, even from the PDX REI group. And I know that you have your group that you've been doing meetups with. Obviously, you're kind of one of the original members of the PDX REI group as well. So I've been super impressed and encouraged by the folks that are in the PDX REI group that are actually in the Portland area doing these deals like live action, actually out there doing it. So I've really been impressed with Caitlin Beals.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super excited about her. And we're actually going to start the day off with Caitlin. So that's going to be at 10 a.m. You've been following Caitlin and kind of her big jump into the deep end of the swimming pool, haven't you, Robert?
Oh my God, it's the best. I love her story. We got to hang out a lot at Squad Up Summit too, down there in Texas, in Dallas. That was really, really cool. But seeing her go from your proximity event and then just jumping in the deep end, getting going, and getting her flip going, she's already doing amazing things. So I'm excited to see her growth and what she's going to be working on next.
Yeah, she's she came out with some pretty big, hairy, audacious goals, and that was she wanted to do 10 flips this year. And so I honestly, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Caitlin Beals, or if you know Caitlin, let us know in the comments. Give us a yay, Caitlin, or go Caitlin, or you go girl. Give us something in the comments, because I do know this, that Caitlin is one of those people that honestly, she's like one of those sleepers. She's kind of. I remember the first time she came to the PDX REI group, she came as someone who has just joined the transaction top tier TC, learning how to be a transaction coordinator. And I asked her not too long ago, I said, Caitlin, what happened? Like you were going to be a TC. She's like, no, I'm not, I'm not interested in, I realized really quickly. Yeah, there we go. Sherry Moore says, yay, Caitlin Beals. Peggy says, yay, Caitlin. So some of these ladies know Caitlin. I'm thinking you guys are probably involved in some of the ladies, the women's groups there too. But Caitlin was like, I realized really quickly that being a transaction coordinator was not my jam, was not going to get me where I wanted to go. So I was like, well, where do you want to go? She's like, I want to retire my husband. Her husband's name is Jonathan, super good guy. Him and I had talked several times, but so she's like, I want to retire my husband and I'm going to do it by doing 10 flips this year. So I was like, dang, that's a pretty big, hairy goal. But she came out, swinging. She came to the proximity event that we did a couple months ago. And right out of that proximity event, she got 3 properties tied up under contract. She closed on the one. She is actively working on that. I believe she's in the process of looking for number 2 already. And man, she's just, I don't want to make it sound like, first of all, I don't want to steal her thunder. She's going to tell her own story, but she has been through some ups and downs on this whole journey. And she is really, I mean, she's cutting her teeth hard. Have you heard about any of the issues she's had on this one?
Oh yeah. She's got that tank, and I'm looking forward to hearing from her. Like, how'd you solve it? Who'd you hire? Is it still an issue? How expensive was it?
Right. Yeah. And so that's the value of coming to an actual live flipping event like this. It's not just going to be a presentation on a screen at a meetup, although we are going to wind up the day with a meetup. We're going to be doing that a little bit earlier in the day than we normally do the PDX REI group. That's going to be at 4:00 at the normal PDX REI group location. So all the details are in the event posting on the PDX REI group. And I think you've probably got it posted in your group too, don't you, Robert?
It's just so my group is, I don't really have a group, but I have the Oregon Sub 2 group. So
okay. Yeah.
It's just one, because I am the Oregon regional leader, and we do a meetup every month. So it made sense to combine it and promote it there too. So
yeah,
Sub 2 people.
Yeah, awesome. So Peggy says, I'm getting my hair done and I'll be there. She's bringing Cheryl. Okay, so we got Peggy and Cheryl, also both from the Sub 2 community. Looking forward to seeing those ladies there. What's cool about this, what we're going to do, and I don't know if I've gone over the details with you yet, Robert, but what I have in mind is we're going to start at 10 a.m. at Caitlin Beals' place, and we're going to be there. We're going to give ourselves 2 hours, right, before the next stop. And so the next stop is going to be with Christopher. And I don't know if have you met Christopher yet before? I don't know if you've met him, Christopher Vargas. Did you know him?
Yes, I have met him.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So we're going to go over to the flip that he just finished doing with his dad and his brother. And this is an on-market deal. And we'll talk a little bit more about this when we get there. But on-market deal, they bought it. It was like, honestly, I don't know if you've seen the before and afters of that one, but this one is actually fully finished. It's on market, listed right now. Hopefully, maybe somebody will come and be a buyer, this coming weekend. But Christopher Vargas and his dad and his brother, they teamed up together. This is what's really cool about this particular one is they teamed up. They worked together as a family. Robert, I know you've done some deals with your dad. I know your daughter's kind of in tow, it seems like, on a lot of stuff. And
she'll be with me all day too. I already told her.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm like,
she's awesome.
You're in all day, so.
Yeah,
she is.
Yeah, I love her. She's always there, and she seems like she's really. I've noticed, and maybe I'm just, I don't know. Sometimes you see someone else's kids, and they're like, they're all grown up, and sometimes you don't see it in your own kids. But I've noticed with her, it seems like she's really taken an interest in things, whereas when she first started coming to the meetup, she was kind of like, kind of the eye roll thing, like, oh, okay, dad's going out, hanging out with dad. This is what we have to do to hang out. And
yeah.
But it seems like she's got good questions. She's connecting. So that's really been cool to see that. But yeah, Christopher, actually, they bought this thing and they did an amazing job. And so this one's going to be cool. We're going to do that at noon. And it's about 12 minutes away, 15 minutes tops away from Caitlin's flip. So Caitlin's kind of midstream, right? Then we're going to go to Christopher Vargas. And how did you know Christopher? How did you meet him? Where do you?
I think I met him at one of the meetups, either your meetup or one of the other ones. Yeah.
Okay. So looking forward to seeing what they've done over there. And by the way, all this is posted, you guys. I just made a post yesterday afternoon. You can go find me just underneath my personal profile, and then I posted it in the PDX REI group as well. But we have the names with a hyperlink to each person, so you guys can go in there in front of them. You can start asking them questions ahead of time, or you can start giving them some food for thought, or just tell them you're looking forward to being there. And so we're going from Caitlin Beals and her small nasty flip, she calls it. Then we're going to Christopher Vargas, totally done, turnkey, on market, beautiful. I believe it's staged. It's just amazing. We're going to be there at noon. And then from there, we're going to drop down into Lake Oswego, and we're going to be hanging out with Jennifer Ornelas, okay?
Mhm.
And she has a flip in Lake Oswego that has come to a total standstill, dead stop. Have you heard about this yet, Robert?
No, I do know Jennifer, and I know her husband. We've done I've actually done drywall for them before. I've actually
Okay,
worked
cool.
their
Yeah, I
projects.
know they're very active. I think they've got like 3 different deals going right now. They just signed papers yesterday on another one. Hey, Josh Hayes, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So Josh Hayes, you guys know, helps us with admin and sets things up. So thanks for joining us, Josh. But we're going to be meeting at Jennifer's place at 2 o'clock in Lake Oswego. And the reason I wanted to, because she was like, well, which one do you want to go to? I said, I want to go to the one that you've had trouble with. Now, Robert, I'm curious, have you ever gotten shut down by the city or anything on any of your projects? I'm just curious.
No, we haven't had any issues like that, but I've heard Lake Oswego is very difficult. A lot of friends
Yeah.
that live over there either run into a tree or something that they can't remove, and it
Yep.
totally shuts everything down. So I'm curious to hear what Jeremy and her ran into.
Yeah, well, I have never been shut down either. Praise God, knock on wood, keep our fingers crossed, say our prayers. But here's what happens. It does happen, right?
Oh yeah.
So how much more value can you get than to actually be there on site with someone who had their job shut down by the city, and to learn what happened so you can know what to avoid, right? And then what they're doing about it so that they can actually get it fixed. Because as you all know, if you don't know this, you're going to find out for sure. But I'll give you a little sneak peek. Most flippers don't use their own money to purchase and renovate their properties, which means, of course, they're using typically what kind of money, Robert?
Yep, hard money and private money for
And
sure.
hard money ain't soft, and it ain't easy, right? So
Not cheap either.
yeah, exactly. So they're sitting on this project with money racking up every day and not able to continue with work. They got a stop work order. So we're going to be on site with them. We're going to see what happened, and we're going to be there for 2 hours, about an hour and a half maybe. And then we're going to bounce back over to Beaverton, Hillsboro area, where we're going to do our meetup. We're going to bring Robert's crew together. We're going to be bringing in, the folks that come out to the PDXREI group, and we're going to have these flippers there with us. We're going to answer questions. We're going to have like a flipping panel. We're just going to it's going to be kind of a free for all. So we're not coming in like super structured. You guys are going to be able to come in and ask any questions you have. Robert, if you could ask these flippers as someone who is just coming in, inexperienced, or maybe as someone who's got quite a bit of experience, you get 29 properties now that you own, what kind of questions would you be asking these flippers as we go around, or as we have the panel review? What kind of
I
things do you think
definitely
you want
want
to
to
find out?
know, like, who are they using for their hard money? Like, what points are they paying? What kind of interest rate? If they're using private money, I'm always fascinated with the financing end of it. Maybe even some contractor questions, like, hey,
Yeah.
who are you using for certain trades? Because honestly, with flips, it all comes down to your expenses, and usually the contractor expenses are the part that kills most deals. It's
Yeah.
usually never the financing. It's always going to be like a plumber that's way too expensive, or electrician, or roof. All those things add up.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's actually, it's funny you say that. You're speaking that language that a contractor knows, because you are a contractor, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm the same way. Like, your contractors, your subs can make or break your deal. And it is so important. I wanted to just highlight, Sherry Moore says, I like the paperwork. She commented that a little while ago. Hey, that's a great, Sherry, I hope you're going to be there, because it would be really great for you to be able to just throw it out there that you help people. Sherry Moore, by the way, is really, really good at what she does. And here's what I mean by that. She knows that working with people like me, she has to hound them and constantly be after them to get the paperwork signed. So Sherry has been, at my request, she's been trying to find some financing for me for one of my deals because I said, hey, I want to use people in our group. So she's been hunting down financing, but she can't get me to fill out the darn paperwork so she can go do her job. So Sherry is really good at the paperwork. And for those of us that are not, and those of us that kind of hate that part of it, it's really good to network with other people. So I hope you guys are going to come out. Josh Hayes says he wants to know where they get their deals. Robert, where are you getting your deals these days?
Okay, wholesalers. I either get them from wholesalers or joint ventures, JV partners. So I have people bring me a lot of stuff that they, I found this deal, I don't know what to do with it, or I found this property, I'm talking to the seller and they tell me the story, but they don't know where to take it. So most of my opportunities are coming from those.
Yeah, absolutely. Same with me. It's been interesting. The PDX REI group, people are like, where do you get your leads? Honestly, they come from my networking. So the best leads that I have are people that are out there, talking to sellers, talking to flippers. I'm talking to realtors, and they're bringing these deals to us. So that's awesome. Josh wants to know how they find our contractors. That might be something that you and I could speak to a little bit as on site as well, Robert, is
Oh yeah.
how to vet a good contractor, honestly. You know what I mean? So
yeah, a lot of people make the mistake of going to Craigslist and a lot of sources where you can actually find some hidden gems there, but typically those are the guys that take your deposit and don't show up, or they say they can do the work and then you show up and you're like, this work is all wrong. I got to pay someone else to fix it. So knowing how to vet contractors properly is definitely a skill that all good flippers know how to do.
Yeah. Well, Robert, I want to give you time. I know you got another call coming up here in a few minutes. You got to bounce out of here. Any parting thoughts or any what do you want to leave with folks as they are looking forward to being there this Saturday? What's your word?
Oh yes, you guys got to come out. This is going to be such an epic event. You're going to look at 3 different flips and talk to people doing this at a high level, even people that are just starting, people that are way more experienced, like the Orneliuses are very experienced. So they're going to be able to answer some questions that you probably don't even know that you would even need to ask them yet. But once you get on site and kind of see what's going on, they're going to pop up. It's going to be an epic event. You guys got to come out.
Robert, are you bringing anybody from? Did you know anybody for sure that's committed from the Sub 2 Northwest group that's going to?
Oh yeah. We have there's like 40 people that have signed up so far. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of Sub 2 crew. So that's the other cool thing is that you'll get to rub elbows with people doing creative finance at a high level, like Josh. You get to meet other people that are, cash buyers, people that are finding opportunities, wholesalers. That's the cool thing is that you're going to see a flip in action, and you can actually talk to wholesalers that I don't know if any wholesalers are going to be there that actually sold on that deal, but there's going to be wholesalers there that probably have other deals for you to even. I mean, you could even pick up a flip this weekend.
That's literally what I told every one of these flippers that's hosting. I said, hey, we're going to be bringing wholesalers to you guys. So I want to make sure that this is a good exchange of value for them. So you guys, please go make sure you register. Do you have an event, Bright, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we have one. If you go on Eventbrite and just look up Oregon Sub 2, you can find us on there and you can sign up.
Could you post a link maybe in the chat here real quickly before you bounce off?
I tried posting the PDX REI group link earlier and it didn't let me.
Uh-oh. Well, you might have gotten we have an automatic admin assist thing, so it might have booted you. So text it over to me. I'll make sure it gets posted. Right. Robert, thanks, man. I want to get you off to your next appointment. You got 2 minutes to spare, so appreciate you being here, brother. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. And man, I'm so pumped. Thanks for doing this with me.
Dude, we're going to have such a good time. This is awesome, John. Thank you so much for putting this together. You guys don't realize this, but John and Josh actually did probably 90% of the work. So I'm really skating here. So I definitely owe you guys and need to make it up for sure.
No, just having you be there and bringing in all the folks that you've been doing your meetup with is cool. I think it's going to be a great time. So thanks, Robert. Appreciate you, brother. Look forward to seeing you, man. All right, so you guys, if you have not signed up yet or registered, I want to make sure that you reach out to either Josh Hayes or reach out to Robert Harden or myself. There's should be pretty obvious where the posts are, that kind of a thing. I think there's a link. I'm going to look right quick. Robert Harden says, okay, cool. He's got a link here for me, and I'm going to share that. And I'm going to do it right now with Josh Hayes so he can get that posted in a couple different places. Josh, I'm sending this over to you right now. If you could get that posted here in this chat, and then also post it in the PDX REI group so it doesn't get blocked. But guys, I'm pumped. I hope you guys are going to be out there. I know. It's the holiday weekend. I get it. And believe me, I'm not trying to pressure anybody to take it away from family time. But boy, even if all you do is just show up first thing in the morning, like the 10 a.m. one with Caitlin, or if you come out, later in the day and even just for the evening event. So remember, we're going to have flip 1 at 10, flip number 2 at noon, then flip number 2 or 3 at 2 p.m. From there, we're going to all go reconvene over at the regular PDX REI group spot in the Tanasbourne area. That address is going to be in there. So Josh says he's going to add all the information to the featured section of the group. So you guys, if you don't know how to get there, just go to the PDX REI group Facebook page and look under featured tab, and that's going to be posted right there right away. So I want to give a couple of minutes to people that are just joining us. It looked like we have somebody new. I'm not sure who Vagabond is, but Vagabond says, what kind of deals are you looking for? So this is a really great question. I think the way that some people might be familiar with this question is, what's your buy box? So if you guys have ever heard that term buy box, let me know in the comments. Type in buy box if you can. I kind of want to know what if you guys are familiar with this lingo. So Vagabond is saying, what kind of deals are you looking for? Typically, when you think about the deals you're looking for, it's a really, really good idea to do one of two things. One way to look at it would be to just be open to everything and anything so that you can get familiar with what kind of deals are out there. And then the other approach is, and this is where some of us are kind of moving toward as we kind of grow in our business, is we're looking at only a select type of deal. So for instance, just before I jumped on here today, I had someone who was texting me about they were texting me about the deal that they had in Texas. This deal had, there you go, Sherry says buy box. Absolutely, you know what I'm talking about. Tess Kime she's heard that phrase, that expression before. So I had someone reach out to me that they're bringing, they're starting to have conversations with sellers, and they reach out to me about a deal they had in Texas. And yes, do I buy nationwide? Yes, I do. Okay. But having said that, my buy box, the type of deal that I'm looking for, there has to be enough meat on the bone for it to make sense for me to partner up with someone, to leverage hard money, to pay the holding fees, pay the finance costs, pay for the renovation, pay to get it purchased and to get it sold. It has to be a certain deal. It has to fit a certain criteria as far as the price point. And then it also has to, or it has to have the ability to do creative financing. Okay. So the point is, my buy box is pretty broad. It can be anywhere in the country. It can be single family, multifamily. It can be commercial. It can be raw land, but it has to be an actual deal. Okay. Josh Hayes says we're negotiating 2 creative deals in Nashville right now. Josh, I'd love to see those. So if you're working on those, please let me know. I actually have buyers in Nashville actively buying and building in the Nashville market. So please let me know. But the point is, if it's either, like Josh said, it has to either be creative or it has to be a really good cash price. So going back to Vagabond's question, he says, or she says, whoever this is, what kind of deals are you looking for? I'm looking for deals that are going to make money. Okay. I'm not looking for something that's marginal. I'm not looking for anything that's tight. And right now there's a tight enough squeeze on the economy, on people's pocketbooks, right? Can I get a witness? Man, it's tight out there, right? It's tough. There's not a lot of extra money to spend right now. So it has to actually make sense. Sherry says a deal, not a suspect or a lead, right? Yes, a deal. Now I can tell pretty quickly if it's a deal or not. And so I tell people all the time, if you're going to, send stuff my way, first of all, number one, I will never go around you. I will never go around a wholesaler and try to connect directly to their seller. I will not do that. I hate that. I don't believe that's ethical. I do not do that. Okay. But if you're going to bring your leads to me, at least have had some time where you've had a little bit of conversation either with the seller or with the agent let them know that, we're not going to be paying retail price. If I bring this to my buyer, my partner, in this case, I could be, the buyer or the partner, then, we're looking for really good deals right now because, as Sherry said, amen, it is tight, right? So because it's so tight and people's pocketbooks are really, pretty, they're holding on to that money pretty tightly. I don't need to just go try to make something happen. And this is what I want to just relay to some of you that are wholesaling right now. You don't need to make something happen. If it's not meant to be, then just let it go. What I mean by that is if your seller is being difficult, if they're trying to squeeze every dime, if they're trying to make everything happen, then just let it go. Move on to someone else, because I promise you this, there are people out there that need to sell their house right now. And the winds have changed, right? It is definitely now more of a buyer's market. And so we want you guys to not only be knowing that you have buyers like myself, like Robert Harden. You have actual buyers, end buyers in this group, but we also want you to know how to identify what a good deal is. So that's part of why the reason I'm talking like this right now is because I want you to understand that's part of why we're doing the flipping field trip, because we want you guys to actually be able to be on site and see what it is that buyer saw, how they decided this is actually a good purchase for me, including all the finance fees and all that stuff. And we want you guys to be able to ask questions and learn from people who are actually in the field doing it right now. So I love it. Josh here says, if it's turnkey, I automatically pitch creative. If it's ugly, I do cash. That works pretty good. Okay, anybody else that I missed? I'm looking if I saw anything else. Okay, Peggy has a great question. Thank you, Peggy. Do we go straight to Caitlin's? Okay, so I want to explain how I see this happening, okay? For the flipping field trip event, okay, I want you guys to know that you guys are grown-ups and you can do whatever it is you want, okay? What I mean by that is I want you guys to decide what you want to do. So if you want to come out to the entire day, you're totally welcome to do that. Okay, how many of you are planning on being there? Just let me know in the comments. How many of you are planning on being there the entire day? Let me know. If you're planning on being there with us the entire day on this coming Saturday, 24th, let me know in the comments. I'm looking, seeing if anything's coming in. See, okay, Josh Hayes, Bob Bourne's going to be there the entire day. Okay, perfect. Peggy, perfect. You guys, I love it, love it, love it, love it. Awesome. Okay, anybody else that's planning on being there for the entire day with us starting at 10 a.m.? Okay, anybody else? Sherry says most of the day. We'll miss one site. Okay. Okay, cool. So this is, let me see if I can actually get this to pull up. Josh, oh, cool. Josh Deere's coming over from the Dalles. Awesome, brother. It'd be good to see you again. Looking forward to seeing you. Josh, by the way, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Michael, I'm losing his last name right now. I think it's Zaharis. Michael is going to be there. Michael has an adult care community that I believe he's trying to sell. So I think he has one that he's trying to sell. Let's see here. Real quickly, I want to show you guys something. Let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. Okay. You guys, now if this gets all wonky, then you guys will have to let me know, but I'm pulling this up right here. Can you guys see that? Let me know in the comments if you can see that. You should be able to see that. I think you can. Let's block that out. This is the post that I made yesterday. And as you can see, we have all of the itinerary laid out right here. So first stop is 10 a.m. It's at Caitlin Beals. We've actually got the address right here listed for you guys. Okay, second stop is at noon. Same thing, address right here listed. And then third stop is with Jennifer at her property in Lake Oswego that they got shut down on, okay? So the reason I wanted to throw that out there is because I want you guys to know that all of the, okay, sure, perfect. Okay, good. Josh, you did chat with Michael, good. Okay, so I want you guys to know that we have the entire itinerary laid out, and I want you guys that are going to be there all day, I'm going to ask you a big favor, okay? So you already told me, several of you already told me that you're planning on being there all day long. Andy's going to be there the whole day. I would really like it if those of you that are going to be there all day, if you can plan on carpooling. And the reason I'm saying that is because remember, these are active flips and active neighborhoods. You know, these are subdivisions where people are living. And I believe we're going to have a pretty big turnout. So we're going to try to give preferential parking closest to the house for people that are carpooling, okay? So you guys, if you are planning on being there all day long, please, if you can at all, carpool. Peggy, I know you got a little car. If you want to drive, that's fine, but I would advise that you guys, somebody else drive Peggy's car. I'm just teasing, I'm giving her a hard time. But the point is, somebody that has a big Suburban or somebody that has, you know, a 5-seater, at least grab 2 or 3 people and say, hey, ride with me. You know, I'll help you. You know, we'll stop. You buy me Starbucks somewhere, and I'll cart everybody around. Because I think that's going to make a lot of sense for visiting these sites. There's not a ton of parking on all these places, so keep that in mind. Someone here says, I would love to attend this weekend as I'm new in real estate investing. Awesome. I am so glad that you are here with us today. Thank you for joining us. We hope that this has been valuable to you. It says, I have a 1-year-old, don't have childcare. Is it possible to bring her? Absolutely. Bring the 1-year-old, okay? Bring your baby girl. She's welcome to come. We have a lot of people. I know Andy a lot of times brings his daughter with him. We already heard from Robert earlier today. He's going to bring his daughter with him all day. Yes, you can absolutely bring kids. Obviously, we kind of, you know, we're trusting that you're going to be the parent and you're going to kind of keep an eye on your kids. But and the other thing too to consider is this: these are active flips, right? So in some cases, these are going to be finished. You know, there's furniture in them. Just kind of keep that in mind. But these are also, yes, Josh says, absolutely consider these are active construction sites. Please, please, please be safe about it. We don't want anybody getting hurt. I don't think there's going to be anything to be too concerned with. It's not like we have any really open, dangerous areas, but just keep that in mind. So Sherry says progressive dinner style. Absolutely right, Sherry. So guys, if you have questions about how this is going to work, please go ahead and post it. I would love to have your questions come in on the Facebook side of things so we can answer them for everybody. But if you are planning on being with us, especially if you're going to be there for the entire day, I'd really hope that you'll take a look in the comments and just reach out to somebody. You guys be grown-ups. You know, it's economic. It's going to make more sense for space, but please try to carpool with somebody if you can. And then don't forget, we're going to all reconverge back at the local PDX REI group, the meetup spot. You guys know where that is, right? Everybody knows where that is. I think everybody does. If you don't know, just ask. We'll make sure you get the address. It's also in the events page. Yes, we're going to have food. We're looking for vendors. We had a vendor that was going to be there to sponsor the dinner, but looks like they're actually going to be out of town for the holiday. So if you guys know somebody that would like to sponsor this, please tell them to contact me immediately. We'd love to give some people some coverage on this and make sure that they actually get a little bit of exposure. And they could easily do that on this big event by just being a vendor at one of our sponsors. So Josh says the address for the event is in the event page. And again, Josh, maybe you could just drop in the post, the link to that in the Facebook group so people know where that is in case we have some new folks that haven't seen it yet. Everybody, I think that's it. We want to make sure we wrap up your time, respect your day, let you keep going and make progress. Vagabond, I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't be calling you Vagabond, but that's your screen name here. So I do hope that you come. This is a great group to get to know. Robert Harden and the Sub 2 community are fantastic. The PDX REI group, best meetup group in the Portland area. So I hope that you'll come out and I hope you'll bring your baby girl and we can get to meet you and help you out in any way possible. So Josh says I'm going to make a follow-up post too. Cool. All right, everybody, I think that's all I've got for today. I want to try to get back to the grind. I've got a couple of deals I'm working on right now in the Boise market, and I also have some stuff to fill out for Sherry Moore. So Sherry, yes, I am working on that. I had some questions from my TC, and she was asking me about it, so I just decided to take that myself. And then we had a little bit of an accident on a job site up in Alaska. My brother-in-law, it wasn't one of my jobs, but my brother-in-law, they had a bunch of trusses that ended up getting blown over by a huge gust of wind, and several guys got hurt, including two of my nephews, one of them more serious than the other. So that kind of all happened right at the end of last week. So Sherry, I appreciate your patience again for different reasons this time, but I am back to it. So everybody, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're having a great day. If you have any questions about anything at all, please let us know. Josh Hayes is available. You can contact him. He's probably more active in the Facebook group than I am. And I'm going to be in there looking this week to try to get more people to come out. Please like and share this. Please, please, please share the event, the flipping field trip, with somebody that you might know is interested. We'd love to have as many people as possible come out. We just want to know who's actually coming. So, guys, appreciate you. God bless. We'll talk to you soon. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the flipping field trip this coming Saturday. Let us know that you're coming. Make sure you register, RSVP, and make sure you carpool if at all possible. But just block off the day. We're looking forward to seeing you guys there. Take care.